In the shadowed underbelly of reality, where the veil between life and illusion thins to a razor's edge, whispers of the impossible echo to the fog-shrouded coasts. Picture this. The Pacific Ocean, vast and merciless, has always been a graveyard of secrets. It swallows ships, dreams, and people whole. Then sometimes on rare curse nights, it spits something back. Something that looks human. Something that knows your every secret, your every sin. What if the woman you mourned, the wife you buried in your heart, walked through your door again, but not as a miracle? What if she was the beginning of your undoing? Welcome to a tale that will crawl under your skin and stay there. This is no ghost story. This is something far worse. The horror of what we become when love, guilt, and science collide. Dreamstime.com. Nestled along the jagged Oregon coastline, Harbor Cove was a place where time seemed to slow, caught in perpetual mist that rolled off the sea like exhaled breath from some ancient leviathan. It was here that Laura and David Harper had woven their lives together, a tapestry of ordinary joys and quiet ambitions. Laura, with her cascading auburn hair and a laugh that could cut through the densest fog, was a creative soul, a graphic designer whose vibrant illustrations adorned local galleries and brought color to their modest craftsman home. David, sturdy and thoughtful, was a pragmatic anchor, a civil engineer whose bridges spanned not just rivers, but the gaps in their dreams. They'd met in high school, bonded over stolen kisses on the beach, and married young, vowing to build a family amid the salty air and crashing waves. Weekends were filled with hikes through towering redwoods, impromptu picnics on windswept bluffs, and lazy afternoons on their small motorboat, Siren's Call, where they'd share secrets under the vast sky. But beneath the idyllic surface lurked undercurrents of strain. David's engineering firm had hit rough waters with a botched project, piling up debts that gnawed at their peace. Laura, ever the optimist, suggested they take out a substantial life insurance policy as a safety net. Just in case, she'd said with a wink. David agreed, though the paperwork felt like signing a pact with fate. Their arguments grew sharper, laced with unspoken resentments. One stormy evening in 2022, as thunder grumbled like an omen, Laura insisted on boating across the bay for art supplies, dismissing David's warnings about the weather. "I'll be back before you miss me," she teased, planting a quick kiss on his cheek. The gale hit with biblical fury, swallowing the boat whole. Search teams braved the tumble for days, recovering only splintered wood and Laura's signature knit scarf, its threads unraveling like their life together. David's world imploded. Grief counselors spoke of stages, denial, anger, bargaining. But for him, it was a perpetual storm. He haunted the docks at dawn, staring into the abyss, convinced he saw her silhouette in the waves. Nightmares plagued him. Laura's accusing eyes, the boat's engine sputtering. Wait, had he tampered with it in a fit of rage during their last fight? The memory blurred, buried under layers of self-deception. A year later, the courts declared her dead, and David, hollowed out, sought solace in a grief support group at the community center. There he met Megan, a soft-spoken schoolteacher with empathetic hazel eyes and a gentle demeanor that soothed his fractured soul. She'd lost her fiancé in a tragic hiking accident, or so she claimed, and their shared sorrow blossomed into companionship. Megan moved in slowly, redecorating with subtle touches. Fresh curtains, potted ferns, a sense of renewal. 2 years post-disappearance, they wed on the same beach where David had proposed to Laura, the ceremony intimate and bittersweet, life tentatively rebuilt. David threw himself into pro bono bridge designs for coastal safety. Megan volunteered at the local library, and they even adopted a golden retriever named Scout, whose joyful barks filled the echoing house. Yet, the psychological scars festered. David experienced fleeting hallucinations, a whiff of Laura's perfume in empty rooms, shadows that mimicked her graceful walk. He confided in Megan, who suggested therapy, but he resisted, fearing it would unearth buried guilt. Megan, too, harbored secrets. Her amateur sleuth past was more than a hobby. She dabbled in private investigation during college, honing skills in digital forensics and surveillance. Unbeknownst to David, her meeting him wasn't entirely chance. Whispers of his insurance payout had drawn her, though she convinced herself it was genuine affection. Then, on a fog-enshrouded autumn morning in 2025, as the clock ticked toward noon, and the sea whispered warnings, the doorbell pierced the quiet like a scream. David, bleary-eyed from another restless night, opened it to the impossible. Laura, rain-slicked and vibrant, stood on the threshold, a canvas tote bag slung over her shoulder, brimming with fresh berries and artisanal bread. Her hair, longer and wilder, framed a face unchanged save for those strikingly vivid blue eyes. Had they always been so piercing? Dreamstime.com won 567 house night thriller stock photos, free and royalty-free. "Darling, I'm home," she announced with effortless cheer, stepping inside and shaking off droplets like a dog after a swim. The market was packed. Storm delayed the ferry. "You look like you've seen a ghost. Coffee ready?" The mug slipped from David's grasp, shattering into a mosaic of porcelain. Megan rushed in, flour-dusted apron askew from baking scones, her face draining of color. Laura tilted her head, appraising her with polite curiosity. "Oh, hello. You must be the temp help David mentioned. Love the apron, very retro. Mind if I freshen up?" The crossing was rough. The hours that followed were a descent into madness. Laura navigated the house with uncanny familiarity, rearranging knickknacks to their proper places, humming old tunes they'd danced to. She recounted anecdotes with pinpoint accuracy. The Yellowstone road trip fiasco, their clandestine elopement plans thwarted by a flat tire, even the intimate mole on David's back she teasingly called his secret map. But her explanation for the absence? Vague and evasive. "The waves flipped me. I blacked out, washed ashore on some godforsaken islet. Locals nursed me back. Amnesia fogged things, but memories trickled in. No biggie, right? Let's focus on now." Specialists swarmed, neurologists, psychiatrists, forensic experts. Scans showed no anomalies. DNA and fingerprints matched impeccably. She was Laura Harper, defying death. Harbor Cove ignited with fervor. Churchgoers hailed a miracle. Tabloids dubbed her the Bay's Lazarus. But doubt crept like ivy. Megan noticed inconsistencies. Laura's once mild spice tolerance now craved fiery habaneros. Her handwriting slanted differently, and those eyes, blue as the deep sea, not the hazel captured in every photo. David dismissed it as post-trauma quirks, but his own psyche cracked. He began questioning his memories. Was the sabotage real or a guilt-induced illusion? Nights brought vivid dreams where Laura morphed into accusing specters, whispering, "You let me go." The first psychological twist deepened the fracture. Megan, paranoia mounting, delved into the attic's archives one moonless night, amid cobweb relics. She found not just albums but Laura's old journals, pages filled with despair over David's controlling streaks. Hints of an affair? No, subtler. Entries about feeling trapped, yearning for escape. Then, the eye-color bombshell via hacked records. Confronting David, Megan unveiled it, but Laura intercepted, her laughter chilling. "Eyes change with age, silly. Or maybe you're projecting, jealous much?" Gaslighting ensued. Objects moved mysteriously. David's pills swapped, whispers in the dark. Was Laura planting doubts? Or was David's mind unraveling? A second twist. David's therapy sessions, coerced by Megan, revealed repressed memories. His estranged twin, Ryan, wasn't just disowned over inheritance. He'd been institutionalized young for sociopathic tendencies, experimenting with amateur hypnosis and mind games. Ryan had once tried to swap identities with David in childhood, blurring their senses of self. Could this be connected? Megan's surveillance escalated. Tailing Laura to a ramshackle cabin in the woods, she witnessed a rendezvous. Laura entwined with Ryan, David's mirror image, plotting in hushed tones. The neural imprints flawless, his fracturing psyche is ripe, will inherit everything. Collider.com 15 creepiest horror movie twins. Ranked. Revelation. Laura hadn't perished. She conspired with Ryan to fake her death, collecting insurance while hiding abroad. Ryan, a black market biohacker, had altered her eyes surgically for disguise. Megan's role? She was Ryan's planted mole, initially for reconnaissance, but genuine feelings complicated it. Betrayal layered upon betrayal. David sabotage? Real, but Laura had known, using it as leverage in her escape plan. But the mind-blowing crescendo twisted further. In a raging storm mirroring the fateful night, confrontation erupted at home. David, confession in hand, accused them. Megan, torn allegiance, produced evidence. Laura, unfazed, revealed a third layer. She wasn't the original nor a mere clone. Ryan's lab had pioneered psyche-transfer, uploading consciousness via neural scans from Laura's pre-disappearance backups, stolen from her therapist's files. This Laura was a synthetic vessel, her mind a digital echo, programmed with amplified resentments. But the psychological masterstroke? The real Laura had survived initially, confronting Ryan post-death, only for him to overwrite her with an AI-augmented version, obsessive, vengeful. David's guilt? Amplified by subliminal suggestions Ryan embedded during brotherly visits years ago, inducing hallucinations that blurred reality. creepycatalog.comcollider.com. As lightning illuminated faces like masks, the entity smiled. I'm every Laura you ever loved and hated. Your creation, David, born of your sins. Megan fled, her own psyche shattered by complicity. Ryan escaped into shadows, leaving digital breadcrumbs of more resurrections. David, alone with the apparition, descended into solipsism. Was he the original or Ryan's puppet? The house became a prison of mirrors, each reflection a potential twist. And now, as the fog lifts on this labyrinth of the mind, remember, reality is but a fragile construct easily shattered by the ghosts we summon. What if your loved ones are echoes, your memories implants? What if the person sleeping beside you tonight isn't who you think, and never was? Ponder that in the quiet hours. The waves keep crashing, carrying secrets, and sometimes they carry them back. If this tale twisted your reality and left you questioning everything, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more mind-bending, soul-shaking stories that push the boundaries of horror, psychology, and the impossible. Follow the channel. We got more nightmares waiting in the mist. Until next time, keep looking over your shoulder. You never know who or what might be looking back.